My new neighbor threatened to tow my car every single day, so I made sure his car never came back. The day after I moved in, there was a laminated note taped to my windshield. Your vehicle is parked 4.7 inches over the property line. Move it immediately, or I will have it towed. This is your only warning. I looked at my Honda Civic sitting in my own driveway, and then at the house next door. A man in his 50s was standing in his window with his arms crossed, staring directly at me. I waved. He didn't wave back. I thought maybe he was just having a bad day. I moved my car back those 4.7 inches and decided to give him space. The next morning, another note. Your trash bins are visible from the street. City Ordinance 47B requires all waste containers to be stored out of public view. I googled City Ordinance 47B. It didn't exist, but I moved my bins behind my fence anyway. Day 3, another note. Your grass exceeds the maximum allowable height of 3.5 inches. I measured my grass with a ruler like an insane person. It was 3.2 inches. I knocked on his door to talk to him. He opened it exactly 2 inches and spoke through the crack. Can I help you? Hey, I'm your new neighbor. I wanted to clear up some confusion about these notes. His face didn't change. There's no confusion. You're in violation of multiple standards. My grass is 3.2 inches. You said the limit was 3.5. He pulled out a clipboard. I have photographic evidence suggesting otherwise. The door shut in my face. Over the next 2 weeks, the notes kept coming. My porch light was too bright. My mailbox needed repainting. My car was facing the wrong direction. Then one morning I came outside to find a tow truck backing into my driveway. I ran out in my pajamas. What are you doing? The driver held up a work order. Got a call about an abandoned vehicle. I pointed at my car. That's my car. I drive it every day. He shrugged. Someone reported it hasn't moved in 72 hours. I looked at my neighbor's window. He was there, watching, drinking coffee. That's when I stopped being nice. I called the city's actual code enforcement office and asked them to send me every single residential code for our street. They emailed me a 47-page PDF. I printed it out and read the entire thing that night with a highlighter. Page 23, section 19. All vehicles parked in residential driveways must have current registration, visible, and valid inspection stickers. I walked outside the next morning and looked at my neighbor's car, a black Lexus SUV. The registration sticker in the corner of the windshield said 2019. It was 2024. I took photos from every angle. Inspection sticker expired 18 months ago. Then I kept reading. Page 31. Residential vehicles exceeding 6,500 pounds require special permit for driveway parking. I looked up the Lexus online. 7,100 pounds. No permit. Page 12. Decorative flags must be removed within 48 hours of related holiday. He had a faded American flag bunting on his garage. 4th of July was 3 months ago. I called code enforcement and calmly reported 3 violations. The next afternoon, an officer knocked on my neighbor's door. I watched from my window. I saw my neighbor pointing at my house, gesturing wildly. The officer kept shaking his head and writing. 15 minutes later, my neighbor had 3 citations taped to his door, but I wasn't done. I called the private towing company he'd used on me. Hi, there's an unregistered vehicle with expired inspection parked in a residential driveway. The owner has been warned. They said they'd send someone out. 2 hours later, a tow truck pulled up. I watched my neighbor run outside in his socks, screaming. The driver pointed at the expired stickers. I'll get it registered tomorrow. You can't do this. The driver hooked up the Lexus anyway. My neighbor tried to physically block the truck. This is illegal. The driver pulled out his phone. Sir, step back or I'm calling the police. My neighbor's face went purple, but he stepped back. The Lexus got loaded onto the truck. As it drove away, my neighbor turned toward my house. We made eye contact. He knew. I waved. He didn't wave back. The city fined him $1,200. The tow and impound cost another $800. He paid $500 to update registration before getting his car back. It took him 9 days. When he finally brought his car home, there was a new laminated note on my windshield. You win. I kept it. My car is still parked exactly 4.7 inches over the property line.